Hey everyone, this is Eric Eltzholtz, Marketing Technology Director with My Home. Today we're going to be looking at how to actually build a traffic ad on Facebook and Instagram. Now, traffic ads are normally run for delivery to a home value landing page or lead capture page where someone will enter an address, and that once they enter an address and click go or activate the page, it will provide a home valuation for them, while at the same time delivering a lead back to you or your CRM. So let's get to it. First thing, in your Facebook page, you're going to be on your business page. So make sure you're lined up on your business page. You're going to go and select your ad manager. And that's going to get us into where we will actually build our ad. Okay, so I'm going to go click the create button here. Let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to set up an ad here. Now, in this instance, there's a couple of key items for running the type of ad we're going to be running, which is sending people to traffic to a home valuation landing page. So something like this, where they can enter an address and it'll generate an automatic report for them while capturing a lead, capturing their address information and or contact information if they choose to enter it. We're going to be running, in this instance, we're going to be running an ad for traffic. So a little bit of, there's really two main objectives when you're running ads for real estate for lead capture. So traffic is link clicks back to the landing page, and the landing page is going to do the heavy lifting. The landing page is going to be asking them for an address where they can enter an address. That's actually the lead capture point for this type of ad, because you're going to be gathering their address, delivering the address to you as a lead, and that address is going to be used to auto-generate an example property valuation for their home. Okay, so that's the source of the ad that we're going to be doing today. The other ad that you'll primarily be running is if you're going to be running an ad for a listing, to promote a listing, or you're going to be running an ad to generate buyer leads. And that's actually going to be down here in leads. So a little bit misleading here. Leads is actually going to take people to what's called an instant form, where the user of Facebook or Instagram, their data is automatically going to be populated into that form if they choose to engage with your post. And that it'll autofill their data in there, and then they can choose to submit that to you as a lead. So that's the two forms. In this instance, what we're doing today, we're going to be running traffic to a website. So let's go ahead and select that, and let's click next. Okay, so now you'll notice that there's three parts to this. There's the campaign name, where we're going to be choosing what kind of campaign we're going to be running. There's the ad set, which is actually choosing the demographics and delivery points for this ad. And there's the ad itself, which is the components of the ad. So in this case, I'm just going to create an ad. Let's start this out. And I'm going to be looking for ads or leads in a certain location. So this is where I live. I'm just going to put that information in there and name the ad. Okay. So you are in the housing. So you are going to need to declare a special ad category, and you're going to be choosing housing. Now, once you choose that, that's based on the Equal Housing Opportunity Guidelines, and your ad will literally have limitations based on exclusionary demographics. So gender, age, specific targeted addresses. You used to be able to run that a little bit in a more detailed fashion, but Facebook, to keep themselves from lawsuits, I would suggest, chose to opt for a more of an enhanced delivery on that. So you can read more about that if you look at this. There's one more option if you'd like to. So you can choose to run an A/B test. An A/B test, very briefly, lets you basically build two different versions of an ad. And you can run different ads for images, so the graphics that you put into the ad, specific text, if you wanted to text out two different versions of text, two different audiences, if you wanted to deliver them to a wider audience and then maybe a tighter audience. And the last thing would be placement. So if you wanted to test an ad maybe for Facebook and you wanted to test it against an ad specifically for Instagram, and or you wanted to test it for Facebook and Instagram, or Facebook and Messenger, or Instagram and Messenger, that type of thing. So you can choose to turn that on. I actually like that. We're not going to do that in this instance because I would have to build two separate ads, but this is a smart way to go if you want to vary your ad slightly to give yourself an edge. And Facebook will run the two ads. You won't spend any more money. And what they'll do is they'll tell you which one's performing better, and at some point suggest you switch to the higher performing ad. So it's really a way to scientifically improve your advertising. In this instance, I'm going to select next, and we're going to move on to the actual ad set. So let's go ahead and rename our ad set. So I've done that. And now I'm going to look for my conversion. So again, in this instance, I'm trying to get people to the website so that I can let the website do the heavy lifting for me. You've got a performance goal. You've got some options here. This is a little misleading. This page really is a landing page, but I don't want views. I want people to get to the actual landing page. So you're going to choose this maximize number of link clicks. That's our goal. So if you want to create dynamic creative with multiple photos and images, you can turn this on, and Facebook will actually take variations of your different content and rotate that into an ad. Again, for simplicity today, we're just going to upload one image. That works great in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you want to get a little more advanced, you can turn this on. You can upload multiple images and give your ad a little variation, okay? Now we're going to go to daily budget. So you've got a couple of things. You can run a lifetime budget, and you can set that budget, or you can run a daily budget. If you're going to actually manage your ad, I would suggest a daily budget. And in this case, you can play around with the budget. So I'm just going to call this $5 a day. So that's roughly $150 a month, right? And I can set when I'd like that ad to start. So here we are, June 1st. I'm literally just going to set this for tomorrow afternoon at 12 o'clock. If you'd like to, you can also set an end date. I'm going to uncheck this because I'm going to manage this. Now, I'm going to say a very short subject here. You should start generating leads within a couple of days. This is really one of those things where it's to their best interest to produce leads and generate leads for you. If you're not generating a lead, come in and we'll my suggestion is you either turn the ad off or edit the ad slightly until you do start generating a lead. Again, we're looking, you're spending $5 a day, 2 days, $10, 3 days, $15, so on and so forth. Again, the whole month, the ad spend would be $150 for this. So if you want to keep yourself safe, you can set an end date. I'm going to leave it open-ended because I'm going to manage this on a regular basis. Okay, so let's go in and check audiences. I'm going to suggest a location. And in this instance, I'm going to type in here, let's go select this and let's see what this looks like on the map. So you'll notice a couple things. Because I've selected the special ad category of housing, the smallest I can make this circumference is 15 miles. Okay, So this looks a little off. I don't necessarily like that location. So I'm going to move it to a different area. So in this case, I'm going to select drop pin, and I really think I want my area to be like that right there. So you'll notice the new drop pin is there. Now I can come down to this one and remove that, and that will cover the area that I'm trying to cover for lead generation. So you can size this out. You can make it bigger if you wanted to, if you want to encompass more areas. You'll see as you make this circle, you'll see what your audience is. So the audience size for this is between 671,000 and 789,000. And they're showing that my audience is fairly broad. We're going to reduce that down by adding in demographics. So you'll notice I'm not able to change this information. It won't really let me select any of these new numbers. So it's just basically running it to their full spectrum. Also, it won't let me change any gender. I can, however, select demographics. So let's go ahead and check this on. We're going to edit this. So here's some suggestions I would go for right out of the gate. So I'm going to go for anybody that's visited the website Zillow. Okay, that's one of the top real estate websites. So you'll notice there's two versions. Premier Agent Zillow, that would be for realtors. Zillow as an interest for real estate, that's really the one I want right there. So now look what happens to our demographic here. Okay, let's add some more demographics. Let's expand this a little further. Let's add Trulia in here, even though that's really part of the Zillow Trulia package, but they're still calling it in this system an actual option. So that expanded our category a little bit. Let's go ahead and add some additional ones in here. How about the other big one, the big dog in the room, Realtor.com. So let's add that one in. And now you'll see that expanded that again a little bit further. Let's also add a couple of more items in here. How about what do homeowners need? Homeowners always are looking for home improvement. So I'm going to add home improvement, home and garden as an interest into my database. So now you'll see that expanded it even further. Okay, so let's continue on here. We've got our setups. We've got our detailed targeting. Let's go down here and look at one final component. They have this pre-selected. They call it Advantage Plus. They recommend it. I'm going to recommend one more option here. I'm going to recommend that you go down and manually change the placements. And I will show you why. When we look at these 4 placements that they have set up, okay? They have Facebook, they have Instagram, they have Messenger, and they have Audience Network. My suggestion is that you unselect Audience Network. And if you look at what's going on over here, you'll notice that these don't actually change. So 15 to 51 link clicks. If I select this, I think it goes up by 1. Okay, so it went to no difference. So they're saying link clicks 14 to 51, or I can unselect Audience Network. So one of the issues with this, in my opinion, is that Audience Network spends your money. Those are ad vehicles outside of Meta's control. So they can't guarantee what kind of leads you're going to get from those, okay? So in my opinion, running them on Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger is the best option based on my experience, okay? So let's go ahead and select next. And let's now get into the actual ad itself. I'm going to go down here. Let's rename the ad so it matches everything else. And let's go into the actual ad creation. In this case, I'm going to use a single image or a video. Let's make this easy. I don't find that for home value leads that carousels or collections work as good. I'm going to say they work better with a single image. Let's go ahead and add media at this point. So we can add an image. Now you'll notice there are images in the system already that you can pull from and use. I would just suggest you get a great picture that matches where you're trying to deliver content into. In this case, I don't have one set up, so let's go ahead and upload an image here. Now, this is a great little side note for this. I always find it interesting if you run ads based on things that are recognizable in your community. Okay. Now, in this instance, you'll notice a couple things. They're going to require a couple of ads, and this ad particularly looks bad. So I'm going to take my image and upload a different image in this position that will fill this area better. Okay, so let's go ahead and replace this image. So in this case, I'm going to replace it with something simple because that format is going to have me running stuff in a probably a video. Let's go ahead and upload that. Again, you can play around with this a little bit here. That's okay. Let's pop that in there. That looks pretty good. Okay, this is not the one we want, so let's go ahead and replace this one back with this one again. Okay, we're going to select that format for that, and then we're going to replace this one with the original image right here in the format that it was right there. So there's the 1-to-1. There's this ratio. Again, I'm going to put a little text on there because if it goes into stories and reels, it'll have music, it'll have other content on it. And I just wanted to ask the question, right? So let's go ahead and add that. By the way, I built that graphic image in Canva. So that's a pretty easy way to set that up and run that. So right now we just have standard enhancements. If you want to, you can actually run all optimizations and that will pump that up a little bit. So it'll add music on. You can turn that off if you want to. You can have 3D animation. You can do different things on that. So you can kind of test those out, see what they all look like on them if you want to. That's what that's going to look like. Looks great, fabulous. Just double check everything, make sure everything's set up for it. At this point, my graphic looks great. I'm happy with that. Let's go down and check out now a couple things. So they're asking for our headline. Let's go ahead and get that. I've taken the time to make some copy up for a headline already. And I'm going to copy this right now. So let's add our headline in here. It's really going to be a call to action. I'm also going to add a few other little tidbits in here as well. So again, I actually had ChatGPT create some of this content for me. I'm just grabbing some of this content and I'm going to populate it in here. So my primary text, that's up on the top. Let's go ahead and add that in there. And by the way, this is kind of a WYSIWYG here, right? It'll actually flow in here. Okay, that looks great. Let's add some additional text in the description on the bottom here. We'll kind of finalize this. Perfect, got that. Let's come back over here. So when they say it's a WYSIWYG, it's really what you see is what you get. We'll have some different contents on here. So there's my headline. That's my call to action. My call to action button is actually going to be learn more. It's just the least salesy. And that's really, in my opinion, the best option for that. Now let's do one final step on here. We need to enter in our website address. So that's really easy. You can come back over here. You can grab your address. So in this case, I'm going to use, you'll notice it's the brokerage listing. So for this one, it's Moxie, Moxie's websites. And they have an instant estimate on there. If you're using a different landing page, you can just grab the link for that. So if you have something like In this instance, probably would use this, right? If you have something that's specifically for a certain neighborhood, there's a variety of different landing pages. You'll go back over. Let's go back to our ad manager here. You're going to enter that link in right here for the website URL. Okay, perfect. It's got that in there now. It's showing that website. It's got some information here. It looks great. Let's go back and just review it very quickly. They want me to add some more text options in here. What they're talking about is if you want to create a little bit more of a dynamic ad, you could add another option in here. So here, I'll just go like this. So now I've got two options in here. So it's giving me a couple of additional, it's just going to swap some different options in here to try out. So again, you can add up to 5. So you could add additional options in here for the text. In this case, I'm going to leave this text the same. I'm going to swap out the headline. So Wolf Creek Home Value Campaign, special ad categories, housing, that's correct. Let's go down to the next section. Okay, there's my ad name. It is going to a website. We've got that set up correctly. Let's check our budget. We've got our budget set up for daily. It's going to be $5 a day. I'm going to start this ad tomorrow at 12 noon. I'm not going to set an end date, but okay, let's go look at our audience. This is actually one of the most important parts. So I'm going to use Temecula, California, and my detailed targeting, home improvement, mortgage calculator, realtor.com, Trulia, and Zillow. That looks great. Again, manual placements. Got my manual placements and I've unselected audience network. That looks great. They've now changed, by the way, to note that my audience is defined. They're going to generate audience sizes between 352,000 and 415,000. Okay. And my daily reach will be between 411 and 1,200 people. And they're projecting between 15 and 51 link clicks to my landing page per day. Okay, that's a daily result. So out of this number, I'm hoping to get 1 or 2 actual leads realized from this ad. Okay, this is all good. Everything's set up. We've previewed everything. It looks great. And we're ready to go. And at this point, I can click publish. That ad is now going into publishing, where it will be reviewed, and usually within 20 or 30 minutes, that ad would go live. At this point, I'm going to let it run, and let's go take a look at that back in the ad categories section. So let's close this out. When you come back into your ads at this point, you'll notice that here's the ad. If you needed to pause this ad, let's go take a look at this, and it should say that it's processing and or in review at this point. So there's the ad. It's set up at processing right now. It's going to go from there into review. And once that's reviewed and approved, that ad will go live. Right now, it's scheduled to start at 12 noon tomorrow. Hopefully that helped. The ads are designed to generate leads fairly quickly. If you have not generated any leads within 3 days, so let's call it $15 at this point, something is wrong with the ad, come back in, and don't forget to turn this to off if you feel the ad's not working as well as it should. So again, you should be getting a couple of leads a day, a lead a day, a lead every 2 days at the bare minimum out of this for that 5-day daily spend. Come back in and turn the ad on. It's not running correctly. Come in and edit the verbiage, change an image, try some different alterations, but the ad should work on a daily basis. So with that, I'll let you go. This is Eric at My Home. Hope you've had a great time learning about traffic ads for home value leads using Facebook and Instagram advertising.